Babies are a great way to practice knitting. You can make a baby jumper by knitting a single piece of fabric. The body, sleeves, and back of the jumper can be knit, then sew the sides and sleeve seams. Most babies under 6 months old will fit in this jumper. So, we are going to watch about the how to knit a baby jumper.
Method 1. Knitting the body.
First is gather size 8 US, 5 mm, needles and wool yarn. You'll need 3 skeins of soft wool yarn in your choice of color. Each skein should be 50 grams, 1.75 ounces or 98 yards, 90 meters. You'll also need scissors and a large-eyed needle for seaming the jumper.
Step 2. Make a slip knot.
To begin the bottom of the front of the jumper, cast on 40 stitches. Keep the stitches loose so it's easy to stitch the next row. Finally, work a garter stitch until the body is 5.5 in, 14 centimeters, long. To make a garter stitch, knit every row. Keep making garter stitches for the main part of the body. It should be 5 in, 14 centimeters, long before you begin the sleeves.
Method 2. Working the sleeves and neck.
First is cast on 22 stitches and knit across the row. To begin the sleeves, you'll need to increase the body of the jumper. Cast 22 stitches onto your left needle. You should now have 22 unworked stitches plus the existing body. Knit all 62 stitches on your left needles and then turn the work. Step 2. Cast on another 22 stitches and knit across the row. Add 22 more stitches which will make the other sleeve. You should now have 84 stitches on your left needle. Knit each of them to work across the row. Step 3. Garter stitch the jumper until the sleeves are 4 in, 10 centimeters, wide. Knit every row so the sleeves begin to widen. They should measure 4 in, 10 centimeters from the beginning of the sleeve cast on row. You can now begin to shape the neck. Step 4. Knit 31 stitches and cast off using size 9 US, 5.5 mm, needles. Knit 31 stitches at the start of a row and then cast off 22 stitches in the center. Switch to size 9 US, 5 mm needles for casting off so the stitches are loose. Step 5. Switch back to size 8 US, 5 mm, needles and knit the rest of the row. Go back to using the smaller needles once you've cast off the neck. Knit the remaining 31 stitches of the row and then turn the work. Step 6. Knit 31 stitches and cast on 22 stitches for the neck. Knit the first 31 stitches of the row and switch to the size 9 US, 5 mm needles to work the neck. Cast on 22 stitches to make the back of the neck. Step 7. Switch back to size 8 US, 5 mm, needles and knit the remaining stitches. Once you've finished the neck, knit the remaining 31 stitches on the row using the smaller needles. This will give you tension that matches the rest of the jumper. Finally, garter stitch the remaining 4 in, 10 centimeters, of the sleeves. Once you've finished the neck, keep stitching every row until you've worked 4 in, 10 centimeters, above the neck. Garter stitching this length will make the sleeves.
Method 3. Finishing the sleeves and jumper. First is bind off.
You should have 40 stitches on your left needle once you've finished binding off the sleeves. Bind off 22 stitches at the start of a row and then knit the remaining stitches across the row.
Step 2. Garter stitch for 5.5 in, 14 centimeters.
To finish the back body of the jumper, continue to knit every row until the body is 5 in, 14 centimeters from the end of the sleeve.
Step 3. Bind off the last row.
You should now have a large flat piece of knit fabric that you can shape into the jumper. Loosely bind off the 40 stitches on your left needle. Cut a 2 in, 5 centimeters, tail and tie it through your last stitch.
Step 4. Fold the jumper in half.
Lay the jumper on a flat surface. Fold it in half so the neck hole is at the top, the sleeves are even and the body is closest to you.
Step 5. Sew the sides and sleeve seams.
Use the same wool yarn that you used to knit the jumper. Sew the side pieces of the jumper together. Repeat the process for the other side of the sweater.
Finally, weave in the ends.
Cut the yarn to leave a 2 in 5 cm tail and pull it through the last stitch you made. Thread the yarn on the large-eyed needle and weave the ends through the jumper.
We hope it is useful to you. Please subscribe to our channel to upskill yourself.